another plan change, make operative. So similar again, everyone. 96. I'm happy to move this one. Councillor Ferry, second.
Good morning again. I have with me for this item Natisha Nards, who has been the reporting planner through the Plan Change 96 plan change and will describe the plan change for you.
Kia ora. I prepared a slideshow which will provide context to this plan change. Plan Change 96 is a council-initiated plan change that aims to rezone 4 parcels of land recently vested or acquired by Auckland Council to an open space zone. Rezone 12 parcels of land to correct zoning errors and anomalies. Rezone 11 parcels of land to better reflect the current or future intended use and or development. Rezone 5 parcels of land to reflect land exchanges between Kāinga Ora and Council in Oaraka and Onehunga, Fletcher Residential Limited and Council in Mount Roskill. The hearing for Plan Change 96 was held on the 17th of September. Independent Hearing Commissioners' decision to approve Plan Change 96 with modifications was publicly notified on the 12th of December 2025. The Commissioners were delegated authority to make this decision. The appeal period closed on the 16th of February 2026, and there were no appeals received. The relevant parts of the AUP can now be amended to make Plan Change 96 operative in accordance with the decisions. We are seeking approval from the Policy, Planning and Development Committee to make Plan Change 96 operative. Please note that PC 96 rezonings were not included in PC 120, Housing Intensification and Resilience. Thank you.
Kia ora, thank you very much. I know Councillor Ferry has a question on the process.
Kia ora, thank you for this, and noting that some of these pieces of land have been sort of winding their way through the process for a long time. I wanted to particularly just clarify, you've put something in there about that these rezonings were not included in PC 120. And my reason for asking this is I know that the Albert Eden Local Board were particularly concerned about Murray Halberg Park previously being zoned for housing by accident, and this fixes that, which is great. But they had also put something into PC 120 asking that it be fixed through that process. So if you could just, I guess, give some reassurance about how the PC 96 changes will be reflected in any updated council position on PC 120, whether or not that will be taken into account and how any submissions that apply to these pieces of land will be dealt with, because in the case of that one, and perhaps others, I know that they are in submissions.
Through the chair, if I may, the Plan Change 96 corrects a previous zoning error for Murray Halberg Park, and so by making this plan change operative, the park becomes an operative open space in the unitary plan. As Natasha's indicated, we did not include the sites in Plan Change 96 and Plan Change 120, so it is operative in its own right in the plan once the committee approves this for to be made operative. If there are submissions on this and other sites that are in Plan Change 96, when we report to the independent hearings panel for Plan Change 120, we would point to the operative status of this and make recommendations to that panel that align with the operative status. Is that clear?
That's perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Member Karen Wilson. Kia ora.
Kia ora, thank you. I'm going to be not unlike Councillor Gillen and look at the process, understanding, of course, this is to make this operative, but in order to ensure that the process includes, for instance, you have the MIS, Māori Impact Statement there, and you acknowledge actually part 2 of the RMA and taking into account Te Treaty, but I note there that there's only a letter been sent out and nobody responded, which is actually how it works these days when there's so many plan changes and other types of submissions. What other consideration would have been given other than sending out a letter to 19? In fact, I think there's more than 19 these days, so really good to understand that part for the process.
What other consideration has been given?
Yes,
Yeah.
in this part, I'm not talking about as we went through fast track. So in this part, as it relates to what you're doing today, you've said in the MIS that a draft copy was sent and that 19 were notified per letter. So I'm asking what other consideration you gave other than sending them an email.
We did provide some reasoning within the Section 42A report in terms of Part 2 of the RMA. So analysis was done there in terms of mana whenua values.
Through the chair, to add to Natasha's reply, in terms of this step in the process, we haven't engaged with the iwi at all. The process that leads up to the decision has had substantial engagement with the 19 iwi, and so the decision and the feedback received from various local boards all is encapsulated in the decision.
So it's totally relying on what you did as you went through the process. That's what you're reliant on.
Yes.
And that included in the process a letter to 19, is that right?
Yes, and we engaged with iwi as part of the development of the draft of the plan change, and then we notified them when it was formally approved for notification as well.
I think it is understanding that this operative that so the questions don't come up all the time. Did you, in fact, other than through the fast track process, understand what you're saying there? Now it's become operative, and it has been expressed here before. Have all of the concerns been outlined? And I guess that's why I'm thinking you're making this operative now. You're reliant on the process itself and not taking into consideration those that didn't participate. Is that right?
That's correct.
So there were no, other than those that operated in the fast track, you're taking it that the lack of response means that's not going to be pursued further. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, just to be helpful, believe it or not, it'd be really good to understand that if it is just rubber stamping the fact that you've dealt with iwi through the fast track process, there might be another means before making it operative, just in case they didn't participate in that process.
Yeah, this is a plan change process and the fast tracks have quite a different approach and manner of engagement through the specific legislation for fast tracks. And
yes, I do understand that, but there is a MIS here, it's a Māori Impact Statement, and you have made statements on there. I understand very well how the fast track process is engaged, but you've put something in here acknowledging Te Treaty that's not necessarily acknowledged in the fast track. So
okay.
It's in there, it's a part of the report as it relates to this making it operative. I'm just testing what that process is actually involves. Kia ora.
Member Wilson, thank you. Really, we do appreciate it, and we will clarify that and make sure that's clear for the next time. But I'm quite satisfied with the process we've used.
even though we didn't get a lot of, or didn't get any responses at the beginning of the process, it's a fair call for us to clarify that for you. So we'll do that for next time. Thank you.
Kia ora, thank you. Thank you, Member Wilson. Right, there are no more questions. I'll get you to step back from the table. And once again, at this stage, under the law, we're obligated to make operative. So is there anyone who'd like to speak to this? All those in favour? Aye. Is there anyone opposed? Abstention? Oh, private, okay, sorry. So that's unanimous, thank you. Right, we will almost perfectly at midday, but just missed it.